what happened?
So the GPS told me to turn. I'm not from here. I'm from Puerto Rico. Okay. So I accidentally turned, and I have the accident.
Okay.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and nothing works. Your phone can't navigate, banks can't process transactions, ATMs are frozen, airplanes stall mid-flight, and your coffee machine won't start. What could be worse than a world without GPS?
The impact would be enormous. A very devastating, cascading series of events.
It is $1 trillion risk.
In January 2016, a 13 microsecond glitch nearly triggered worldwide chaos. Experts warned that next time, it might be worse than a glitch. GPS. The global positioning system isn't just the little dot that tells you where to turn next. It's a network of satellites, dozens of them, spinning around the Earth, beaming signals down to anyone with a receiver. Your phone, your car, and even airplanes listen to these signals constantly. Each satellite broadcasts its location and the exact time it sent that signal. Your device then does a kind of cosmic math. It calculates how far away each satellite is by timing how long the signal took to get to you. 3 or 4 of these signals, and suddenly your device knows where you are with an accuracy that would have seemed like magic decades ago. But here's where it gets chaotic. GPS isn't incapable of making mistakes or being wrong. Those satellites are hurtling around Earth at thousands of miles per hour, and their clocks are atomic. So precise that even tiny errors, smaller than a blink of an eye, can throw your location off by miles. That's why the system has layers of redundancy, constant corrections, and ground stations that are basically nerdy control towers, making sure nothing goes completely off the rails. Most people don't think about that invisible web of satellites, engineers, and math keeping their coffee deliveries on schedule or their flights from colliding. It's a delicate dance, and it runs quietly until it doesn't. What most articles skim over, and what you'll find in the chaos of real GPS history, is just how deeply it touches every part of life. GPS guides everything from cargo ship crossing oceans to farmers timing their irrigation. Even emergency services rely on it to locate people trapped in disaster zones. And yes, a single microglitch can cascade through entire systems, freezing banks, grounding planes, or halting traffic lights. This is a system designed to be invisible, perfect, and utterly fragile at the same time. By the end of this video, you will realize that the world we take for granted every day is so balanced on the edge. It was January 2016, and the rest of the world almost didn't notice a glitch that lasted just 13 microseconds. Very tiny, almost meaningless, right? Except in the realm of GPS satellites, that minuscule error was enough to throw the entire system into a near panic. The problem started in the United States, where the GPS control segment, an array of ground stations and operations centers responsible for keeping satellites in check, noticed that the onboard atomic clocks on several satellites had begun reporting the wrong time. The glitch wasn't in the hardware, and it wasn't a hacking attack. It was a software overflow, a moment when the satellite system reached the end of its counter, causing it to misreport the exact second to every receiver on Earth. The effects, if the glitch had spread unchecked, it would have been catastrophic. GPS isn't just for navigation apps. It's the invisible backbone of modern infrastructure. Financial markets rely on their precise timing to execute trades. Airlines use it to coordinate flights across continents. Power grids depend on it to synchronize energy flows. Imagine banks on Wall Street seeing clocks jump backward, planes drifting slightly off their flight paths, or trains losing coordination. Even the everyday trucks delivering food, the DoorDash that delivers your Starbucks, or McDonald's, and emergency services responding to accidents, all depend on GPS ticking perfectly.
There were 41,000 Boeing, Airbus, and other aircraft that were affected by GPS spoofing.
For 13 microseconds, the world stood on the edge of chaos, though most people went about their morning coffee completely unaware. The team managing the crisis was small but intensely focused. Engineers at the Master Control Station in Colorado Springs quickly identified the problem, sending corrective signals to recalibrate the affected satellites. The U.S. Air Force, which oversees the GPS constellation, coordinated closely with civilian operators worldwide, ensuring that critical infrastructure had backup timing solutions and redundancies in place. In practice, this meant rerouting data, adjusting satellite clocks remotely, and monitoring every major system that relies on GPS to prevent failures. It was a surgical, almost invisible intervention, but it kept the world from going into confusion. What's fascinating and terrifying is how global the consequences could have been. GPS signals are used by every country, with satellites, ports, airlines, hospitals, stadiums, and financial networks. A misstep in the US system could have caused delays in Europe, miscalculations in Asia, and communication errors in Africa. Yet, because of decades of planning and quick-thinking engineers, the glitch ended as quickly as it began. January 2016 served as a silent warning. The invisible heartbeat of our world is fragile, and a glitch no bigger than a snap of the fingers can ripple across continents. What if this glitch stretched for just 24 hours? Every stock trade, bank transfer, and financial transaction suddenly loses its timestamp. On Wall Street, trades fail, automated algorithms grind to a halt, and markets go into confusion.
15 minutes of chaos that shook the world's biggest markets.
What the heck is going on down here? I don't know. There is fear. This is capitulation, really.
Without warning, the US stock market and futures markets just crashed.
Can't be there. That is not a real price.
The flash crash which wiped $1 trillion off the value of American companies in 5 minutes.
To look at a price chart, it looked like a kind of runaway elevator.
Billion-dollar deals that rely on millisecond precision would be delayed or canceled. Within hours, investors wouldn't know if their holdings are accurate, and panic selling could trigger massive losses. And because the US dollar underpins global finance, disaster wouldn't stay in New York. Markets in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, South and North America would wobble, sending shockwaves across the global economy. The logistical backbone of the economy would collapse next. Trucks transporting goods would lose routing guidance, ports couldn't track containers properly, and air traffic control would struggle to coordinate flights. Within 24 hours, supply chains would be disrupted, deliveries delayed, and critical goods, from medicine to food, would begin piling up. US companies' dependence on just-in-time manufacturing would see suspension of production, factories sitting idle, and billions of dollars in revenue lost. Even simple things like online payments or ATM withdrawals would be frozen completely, making the economic disruption more intense. Hospitals would feel the silent, terrifying cost. Imagine a patient who needs urgent surgery, a heart monitor syncing data across hospitals, or an ambulance navigating the fastest route to save a life, all systems relying on GPS to function seamlessly. Without it, lives hang in the balance. Within hours, delays in emergency response, misrouted ambulances, or errors in timing, life-saving procedures could cost millions of lives worldwide, showing that this invisible technology is as much about a lifeline as it is about convenience. By the end of the day, the global economy would stagger. A 24-hour GPS blackout would reveal just how life itself is balanced on an invisible thread. If you enjoyed this video, click the thumbnail on your screen to see just how ruthless a woman can be and how far she would go to make dirty money.